The Israeli military has confirmed intercepting a launched missile from Yemen early on Saturday morning, preventing it from crossing into Israeli territory. Sirens sounded across several areas in Israel as the missile was intercepted. The Houthis, an Iran-backed group from Yemen, claimed responsibility for the attack, targeting the Negev Airbase. This escalation follows heightened tensions between the Houthis and the United States, with the Houthis pledging more attacks on Israel. Meanwhile, the Houthis have reported at least 8 people have been wounded, including 2 children, after US airstrikes hit areas under their control in Yemen's capital, Sana'a. The strikes, which have intensified since mid-March, also targeted other locations, including their stronghold in Sada. These developments are part of a wider conflict involving US and Iran-backed forces in the region. We move back over to the United States, where President Donald Trump is demanding that American military and commercial ships be granted free passage through both the Panama and Suez canals, calling on Secretary of State Marco Rubio to act immediately. In a post on Truth Social, Trump claimed the canals would not exist without the United States and insisted American vessels should travel through them free of charge. Panama's president, Jose Raul Mulino, responded indirectly, reaffirming that the canal tolls are set by the independent Panama Canal Authority, with no agreement to the contrary. Meanwhile, US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, visiting Panama earlier this month, suggested warships should transit the canal first and free, even hinting at a return of US troops to the secure waterway, a notion Panama quickly rejected. In Egypt, the Suez Canal has seen a 60% drop in revenue following Houthi rebel attacks in the Red Sea. The United States military has launched near-daily strikes on Houthi targets under Trump's orders, vowing continued action to protect shipping. Both China and the US remain top users of the Panama Canal, underscoring the high geopolitical stakes. Hundreds of thousands of mourners have gathered in Rome to pay their final respects to Pope Francis, the first Latin American leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. The Vatican reports that 400,000 people packed St. Peter's Square and filled the streets of Rome for the solemn funeral. World leaders, including US President Donald Trump, attended the service, which was followed by a private ceremony at the Santa Maria Maggiore Church, where Pope Francis was laid to rest in a humble wooden coffin sealed with red wax. While the funeral took place in Rome, massive crowds gathered around the world to honour the late pontiff. In Argentina, Pope Francis's home country, thousands lined the streets of Buenos Aires to remember their beloved priest. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met Uzbek Foreign Minister Bakhit Samdov in Almaty, Kazakhstan. The two leaders discussed the strengthening of China-Uzbekistan relations, elevating them to a comprehensive strategic partnership. Wang highlighted major projects such as the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan Railway and renewable energy developments. They also focused on enhancing cooperation in emerging fields like AI, digital trade, and climate change. Both countries committed to deepening strategic mutual trust and fostering economic growth. Here's what the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi had to say.
比如说去年以来，在乌兹别克投资兴业的中国企业有新增的1000多家，这个数字让我们感到很振奋。中吉乌铁路、新能源汽车的联合生产，还有布哈拉风电站等重大项目相继的开工或者启动。
Wang Yi attended the 6th China Central Asia Foreign Ministers meeting on Saturday in Almaty. During the meeting, diplomats engaged in depth discussions on advancing comprehensive cooperation between China and Central Asia. In a significant political development, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has appointed his close aide, Hussein al-Sheikh, as the first ever vice president of the Palestine Liberation Organization, positioning him as a potential successor. The move follows growing international pressure for PLO reforms and aims to strengthen Abbas's Palestinian Authority in the post-war governance of Gaza. Sheikh, a long-time ally of Abbas, has held several key positions between the PLO, including head of its negotiations department. While some see this as a step towards political reform, others, including Hamas, have criticized it, calling it a move to consolidate power and undermine Palestinian sovereignty. Abbas's decision comes amid growing calls for political and institutional reforms in Palestinian leadership. Well, that's all we have time for. We will